Colleen Dickerson. I am the chair for the Education and Youth Services Committee for Community Board 12. I'm going to take an opportunity for everyone to say hello and introduce themselves very quickly. Nigeria, you want to start?
Okay, sure. Hi, my name is Egeria Bennett, and I am a community board member, and I'm also the first vice chair on the community board.
Ms. Claude?
Good evening, I'm Joan Claude. I'm chair of the Libraries and Cultural Affairs Committee.
Mr. James?
I'm here.
Hi, good evening. I'm Theodore James, and I'm not sure if I'm on this committee, but I usually attend most meetings. So, but it's always great. It's always great to be in the meeting, and I'm of course a member of Committee Board 12.
And Carla?
Hi, I'm Chair of Environmental Concerns. Not on this committee, but very interested in what the committee has to present this evening.
Thank you. And Dr. Joseph?
I'm Dr. Anthony Joseph. I've been on this committee for quite some time. I'm interested in all things education. I'm a faculty at Penn.
Thank you. So glad to hear your voice. And Clinton Mike.
Sorry.
It's okay. We're just saying hello and introducing ourselves.
Okay, I'm Clinton Mike, the former chair of the Election Committee.
You say that with a smile.
You can't see me smiling.
Yes, I can.
You can hear me smiling.
It.
You can't see it.
We can hear it.
Fallon, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Fallon, and this is my first meeting. I live in Community Board 12, and I work for the New York City Department of Education as an assistant principal. That's why I'm here, because I'm interested in learning what the community is doing to serve students.
Well, welcome. Very, very happy to have you, and we'll exchange information.
Thank you.
And Dr. Burke. Dr. Burke?
On?
He's on, but his microphone is not on. Oh, he's having computer issues, he says.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so if everyone got an opportunity to see the agenda, and Fallon, we will make sure that you have that in the future.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just spoke about our mission statement, which is pretty extensive. I mean, Jerry, you think I need to read it? I don't think so. You're muted.
I was saying yes. I think it will be helpful.
Yeah, can you share it?
I sure can't. No, now come on.
Okay, all right.
You know,
So
you just know. I will learn soon though how to share it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so here we go. Teacher voice.
Yes.
The Education and Youth Services Committee collaborates with public and private schools, colleges and universities, teachers and parents or guardians, along with all community stakeholders to ensure positive educational outcomes for our community. The goal is to improve educational services provided to the community in our district and collaborate with other communities in the borough. This committee will serve as a liaison between committee members, mental health providers, and the New York City Department of Education, including but not limited to libraries, parent advocates, parent associations, CEC District 11, educators and principals, school safety, administration for children's services, district attorney's office, New York City Department of Youth and Community Development, and local organizations and nonprofits. That is our mission statement. Thank you. Thank you. So I think that basically that's it, definitely. Thank you. In a nutshell. And I see my vice chair is on. Would you like to, we've already introduced ourselves. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I just want to say hello, happy Tuesday. I'm on the job working ridiculously, so I just want to stand back and just listen, because Tolene's in the house with her hair looking beautiful, is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Oh,
and
boy.
I thank you, Tolene, just for stepping up to the plate and doing what you do, Tolene. God bless you, all right? Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, family.
And I also see Sadie. Sadie, it's so good to see you.
Hi.
Would you like to say hello and introduce yourself?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm so pleased to see everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. Okay.
And I
That's
also
it for me.
thank you. Thank you. And I also see one of my committee members, Miss Robbins, Dr. Robbins, Dina Robbins. What we've done before you came on was just to introduce ourselves real quickly.
Hello, how's everybody this evening?
Awesome.
Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I'm Dr. Robbins, Dina Robbins, commonly known. I am a retired educator. My background is in high school biology and general science. I also worked as a dean, and I've had a variety of different activities that I did within the Department of Education for 30 years. Assistant principal of biology and general science, trained in my doctorate's in educational leadership, and it's from Nova Southeastern University. I've been on this board for over 10 years now, I'm sure. And I'd like to see this committee really, get in touch with the borough president. I don't know if that was in our talk. The borough president and the chancellor and the superintendents of the Department of Education, so that we can do our input. A lot of the things that we have and know about are not true. So we need to really research the curriculum, make it user friendly for ourselves and our communities. But it's a pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. And I had a little problem getting on, so that's why I was a tad bit late. But thanks and praise belong to God. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. And I see John Isaacs. John, we're just introducing ourselves.
Good evening, everyone. John Isaacs, second vice chair. It was a little late, but I'm on.
And that's all that matters, that you're safe. Dr. Burke, were you able to get on yet? Fallon, Dr. Burke is our chair. I know you're not familiar. And then I also see Eleanor Larrier. I believe that's the pronunciation.
Hi, this is Eleanor. Thank you for recognizing me. I'm the CEO at Bronx Community Health Network. We have been working with CB12 in various areas. I think you're more familiar probably with Paulette Spencer. Paulette is our community engagement specialist. I'm here because I'm very much interested in the work that this committee is planning to do or has been doing. I'm not familiar with the committee, but have a deep interest in working with the youth and children in Community District 12. We have a program in, oh boy, my memory just went, the high school that is over in Co-op City.
Truman.
Truman High School. Thank you.
You're
In
welcome.
Truman, where we are hoping to work, we have been working, I guess, for the past year and a half with COVID interruptions with students that are not necessarily the top students. They're not the troublemakers. They're the ones that sit quietly and no one notices them and they graduate and, you know, don't have much direction about what to do. So we are hoping to make a difference in that area, but also to work with anyone that's doing work around for children and youth. So thank you.
I'm sorry, did I break in?
No, I got through. Thank you. I am having problems with my camera. I don't know what's happening there.
It's okay. I'm glad to hear your voice and glad to know you're safe and welcome.
Thank you.
I saw Pamela Johnson. Pamela, we're just introducing ourselves quickly. Pam. Yes. No. Okay. I don't know. She was there and then
hi. I'm
Hi.
trying to get my video to start. Hi everybody. I'm Pamela Hamilton Johnson. Former school board president, CEC 11. Worked with the DOE for the last 4 years, mainly with parent engagement, CEC elections, and I run a community center in off of Seymour Avenue in the Bronx. Everybody.
Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so what we did was, Pam, did you get a copy of the agenda? We went over the mission statement. That's what you've missed.
Okay.
And everyone introducing themselves.
Okay.
Anthony, is there anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
I appreciate that. That's a beautiful thing. We had a guest that was coming tonight who is the executive director for the new Y that we have, the Northeast YMCA. But he texted me and said he was unable to make it. He had an accident, but he's safe. Everybody's safe. And so I don't know whether he'll be able to make our full board meeting on Thursday, which is what I had planned for him as well. But he just wanted to introduce himself and speak about some of the programs that he had there for the community, for the youth, and for the seniors. Okay. Mr. Cruz has not signed on yet. Mr. Cruz is the executive. No, he's not. He's the United Federation of Teachers Director of Community and Parent Outreach. Hi. Shaniqua. Shaniqua, can you hear me? Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. We went around and kind of introduced ourselves briefly, so I want to give you the opportunity. Welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Sure. Yes, good evening, everyone. Hi, Dr. Burke. Good to see you on. And to all of our amazing community members. I'm Shaniqua Moore, and I have actually asked to sit on the Education Committee because I think I have a few ideas that I can contribute and bring to the table. I run a nonprofit in New York City that I've been running for 9 years. that provides educational and mental health programming, and I'm happy to give whatever I can to support our schools and our kids over here in District 12.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Good to see you. Glad you're safe and healthy. Okay, so there was something that's been basically on my mind about what we were planning to do, because now we're already down here at new business because my guests are not here. And there is let me get this straight. There is a law coming up in front of, okay, it's 2374, 2021, it was introduced July 29th about class size. So Fallon, I know your ears just perked up when I say class size, because that is an issue that we've kind of dealt with as a community. I know as a parent and as a grandparent and also as an educator, that I had to deal with. So we had Anthony. You want to go back over Anthony? Anthony Reed is the president of the A. Philip Randolph Institute, and they wrote a letter of support to Council Speaker Corey Johnson and the Education Committee Chair, Mark Traeger.
Yes, we wrote a letter in support of actually reducing the class size, because right now there are approximately 34 to 35 kids in the classroom in New York City. And what we was trying to do was trying to get it down to at least 24, because the last time that the classroom size was reduced was 1938.
Yeah.
So for 30 years, they've been fighting to reduce the class sizes. New York City is the only place where they have this problem. Like if you go anywhere else, it's like way less than 34, 35 kids. And I just think that, especially with COVID, like this is the perfect time for us to actually approach this situation, because it's ridiculous, man. You know, and the 23rd, they're actually having a vote in city council. So we have a petition going around. I don't know if you guys received it, but Tolene, I know Ursula sent it out, Tolene sent it out. So if you guys can,
Shaniqua, I'll get it to you. I see your face. I'll get it to you.
Sign on to the petition, and if you can, send a letter to the chair of the education at city council also. So that's my gripe with that. But we definitely need to reduce the class sizes, because just with all this COVID, the teachers, the parents, everybody's nervous about everybody getting sick again. You don't know what it is, and since 1938 was the last time, I think that's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah,
So
it was 1938.
yeah.
I can give you a little just quick background for everybody so you can. It says the last time classroom occupancy limits were updated in the city health code was 1938. Between 500 and 750 average square feet of a New York City classroom. Maximum number of students currently allowed in a high school class is 34. This bill would, it says how much would this bill reduce the number of students in the average classroom? It would be 1/3. Between 14 and 21 is the maximum number of students in most New York City classrooms under this bill. The square foot per child is 35. That would become standard in classrooms under the proposed legislation. The number of city council members sponsoring this bill is 30 plus. Now I have, just so I can give you this real quickly. I mean, I have the names, all the names of the people who sponsored, but what we need to know is that in the Bronx, we have Eric Dinowitz, and Eric Dinowitz, as you know, is a former educator. Kevin Riley, Mark Granage, Oswald Feliz, and Vanessa L. Gibson, and Rafael Salamanca Jr. And these are all our Bronx people. So they have stood up behind them. They're considered as class size champions, but there are 30 so far that have stood up for this. So the reason that I wanted to also bring this up is because to see if we could put a letter of support, and it is, a letter of support from the board, but we would have to vote for it here and then amongst the members, and then it would go to the board. Am I correct, Egeria? I see. I decided to ask her a question when she's away from.
Just something, Tolene?
Yes.
And what was also brought to my attention that the music class is actually 50 students and the gym class is 150 students. So it's like tremendous problem.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Egeria, I just said to you, I didn't realize that you had walked away, but I was explaining how we would have to vote as a committee to get a letter of support from the board.
Tolene, can I ask you a question when you finish?
Yes. Sure. Go ahead.
So with the letter of support and the bill that's being presented, are there any funds going to creating new schools? Because once you increase the class size, you now have to build schools to accommodate those extra students. And in CEC 11, and Theodore can attest to this, we've been missing middle school seats with SEA for a long, long time. So, we're just getting past the containment units. And so are they proposing to build new schools as well?
I can't give you an exact answer on that. All I know is that the United Federation of Teachers asked for the attendance numbers, how many children were exactly registered in schools, and that has not been given to them as yet. So
Can I mention something? An idea that they was coming up with. They was saying a lot of the Catholic schools are closing down. They might try to get into those or some, they might try to get into some of those buildings for now, but they're definitely looking towards like building more schools or, it works hand in hand.
Put money in, you're proposing it, but hopefully they'll put the money, that the money has to be attached to it. That's all I'm saying.
That's a great point, Pamela. Yes.
Absolutely.
Once you reduce the class size, obviously you need space to put the children.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I know they have already occupied a couple of Catholic schools in the last couple of years. So if there are others, I guess I'll just go ahead and secure the leases for those buildings.
Yes. Mr. Isaac, do you have anything to put into this? I'm looking at your expression.
No. I was just thinking, like, all the schools around here that closed, like the one on 233rd and Dyer Avenue was there for years. And it's called Nativity.
Yes.
Saying, wonder what was happening to all those kids.
That's a great question.
And that would be a good place, it's already a school. If we could reopen it.
Does have to be brought up to DOE standard.
Definitely. Yes. I've been inside. Dina, would you like to say anything? Dr. Robbins, I'm sorry.
Yes, I hear you. It doesn't matter. You know who I am. We all know who I am. I'm Dina. Let's see about the schools, the size. As Anthony said, there's 50 students in the music class and there's 150 in the gym class. That's just the way it's always been. I don't think that they kind of really complain. I don't see a gym class of 20 people. You won't even have a team. When it comes down to doing things like volleyball, baseball, there's a reason why certain things were made the way they are. My main concern about these schools is just the way that they're structured right now. I don't like 5 and 6 different schools in one building, because it's just disruptive. It's like being in a, to me, they're preparing them for jail. You know, each person has their own cell block. You know, the children have different uniforms. You're not really getting in touch with the people who are in your building. You just on your floor. If you leave your floor, you're in violation. And you know, when we were all children, we went from the bottom of the school all the way up to the top, especially at the high school level, because you're preparing for life. Where you're
Exactly.
going out into the world, and you know, you have to go to businesses, you have to go to meetings, you meet other people. But these children, they are actually not getting socialized properly. They're being isolated, and you don't have school spirit because you got 6 schools. Whose spirit are you going with? We used to have one principal with, and let's talk at the high school level because that's my specialty area, and junior high, which is similar. You have one principal and you have 7 assistant principals. Now the assistant principals are over the subjects. You know, you got a assistant principal of history, you know, the deal for those of you who don't, but there's a history, math, science, this and that. And that's to train the teachers in that area. But now you have one principal, one assistant principal. The principal's degree may have been in English, and the assistant principal's degree may have been in social studies. But here you have all these subjects to teach. Who's teaching the teachers how to teach? You have to be taught how to teach. Even after you get out of university, you don't know really how to teach till you're in that classroom. And once you get the curriculum, you know the deal. For those of you who are teachers,
Yes.
once you get in to get the curriculum, it's like, well, you know, who's going to show you? Especially in my area of science, you have to have people to show you how to do those labs. The labs are extremely important. You can't tell me that my principal, who's an English major, is going to tell me how to do my labs. They don't know how. You know, it's a different extensive training. So really the schools are at a bad point as far as I'm concerned. And like I say, you know, in junior high school, like, the students are fighting each other and things like that because it's not one school. It's like, you know, I wear red, you wear blue. It's like the Crips and the Bloods. Stop it. You know, let's get that back in order. It is out of order. They were doing that to give principals jobs, but, you know, and a lot of those principals were very young. And some of the things that they need to go back to is you need to teach first before you become a principal. You need to be an assistant principal before you become a principal. You know, you need to be a principal before you become a superintendent, etc. Now it's like, who you know, what you know, they're getting paid, and it's not about pay. It's about doing the job properly and in order. So there's a lot of things. I have written a letter to the last chancellor, you know, and the mayor and this one, you know, on my own, you know, and it was just saying what I just said to you, that we must go back to where it was. Someone years ago took the time to figure this whole thing out. And we just took and dismantled it and did whatever, not we, who the powers dismantled it and think that they were doing something really good. It's horrible. Horrible. The new teachers can't teach. Why? Because they're not taught how to. It wasn't easy. I remember being in my 20s going into a classroom and having to, you know, deal with the 30 children, and you end up with a big headache the first day or so because you got to deal with personalities and so forth. Then you got to deal with the curriculum. You got to deal with the labs. I'm like, what? You know, I'm still standing. Thanks and praise belong to God, but you know, I've been through the trenches. You know, I think we need to focus on that, getting the system back in order. Anybody got a question about that or a comment, please?
My only comment is, you know, I started at, well, I didn't start there, but one of the schools that I worked at was Junior High School 142, which is John Philip Sousa. And they wound up, Pam, you know, they wound up trying to put schools. They finally closed Sousa. They closed 142 down. And I mean, I had to work, I mean, very hard with the union to keep that footprint so that the school remained being called John Philip Sousa Educational Campus, which is the same thing that happened to Evander. which is the same thing that happened to Roosevelt, which is the same thing that happened to Kennedy. So to try to keep the footprint of the school. But it is a difficult situation. The only time that they come together is in teams. You know, the basketball team, the football team, the baseball team, soccer team. That's all the schools combined together. But it is a very difficult situation to be, for a child to be in, because what I tried to explain to people was that when we were growing up, you know, you had schools on different blocks and there was problems. So imagine the only thing that separates two schools is a stairwell. So I mean, it's a work in art, a work in progress. Egeria, is there anything?
So if you wanted to vote, you just have to have a quorum, and then you could make a decision with your committee, you know, to bring up to the board that you've decided to, that you would like to do a letter. And this letter is for Mr. Traeger, right?
Yes.
As city council?
Corey Johnson, it's addressed to, it goes
Right.
to, yeah, because
Okay.
Mr. Traeger is the committee chair.
So, I mean, your committee members can decide on what you would like to do.
Well, my committee, I have my committee members here are my Vice Chair Anthony Reed, Dr. Robbins, Dr. Joseph, and that is it.
And yourself.
And myself, of course.
And that constitutes a quorum.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So if your committee decides in this meeting, you could just bring it up as a, you know, as in terms of a committee report that you've decided to ask the board to generate a support letter in support of the lowering of class size. I see Dina Robbins. Yes, ma'am. You have a question?
I don't know if you counted me as a committee member.
Yes, I
Did you?
did. I sure
Okay,
did.
just checking. I didn't hear my name. My thing just cut off. I don't know. Okay, I'm just.
No, of course I did. Yeah, I'm missing two of my members, Dr. Goff and Miss Gibson.
Right.
It's the only members I'm missing at this time.
Okay.
So yes, thank you. We do have a quorum. So what do we
Then make a motion for the letter.
And
make a
all the
motion.
committee members to agree? Yeah. I heard you, Anthony, right?
Yes.
Okay. And somebody on your committee seconds the motion?
second? Oh, Dina did. Dr. Robbins did. She just put her finger up.
Okay. So then all the members have agreed, and that a letter for the city council and the respective members of city council who's responsible for education would receive a letter stating that you're in agreement for the support of this bill.
Dr. Joseph, I didn't hear from you. Is that
A reducing cost does sound like a good thing to me.
okay? Thank you. Okay. So that's it, Algeria? That's as far as that goes?
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. Dr. Joseph, is there anything that you wanted to bring up as far as old, new?
Oh, not really. I'm good with all that has transpired. I realize, I believe someone said something earlier about things used to be different, but from what I've seen over the years, every generation wants what they do. And so we just have to adjust to that. It takes time to work things out. Over time, the same thing will come back. But having the class size being what it is now since 1938, in my mind, that sounds absurd. So it needs to change. It needs to be, and I agree with Anthony, that it should be about 24, 22 or so.
Right, that's what it says in the bill. I had hoped to have Councilmember Dinowitz here this evening, but that did not work out either. But on Thursday at the full board meeting, Fallon, I would hope that you would please join us, and Eleanor, Ms. Laria, for that meeting as well.
Will do.
But I will put my information in. Okay, it says I need okay, Dr. Burke is saying I need a vote. Egeria?
Yes.
In the chat, hold it. I don't know where it went. Okay,
It says you need a vote to bring anything to the general board for a vote. I understood that to be by the committee members.
Right, that's what I thought we had done. I mean, do you want a?
I think we voted already. I mean, I think the committee voted already.
We did.
Yeah.
I don't know what more.
He probably missed it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
the committee did vote.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I can tell you one thing. I don't know what time it is.
Okay.
It is 7:42. Is there anything else that we need to speak about in this meeting?
I was just wondering, is there any representative from the CEC on this meeting right now?
No.
Okay.
Former member, CT Pam is grinning at me. What is there a question that you had that, or you needed someone, a current member?
No, well, actually, Pam alluded to it early on. We were talking about middle school seats that we have been missing in this district for some time. So I just wanted an update on that process. I know I had suggested one of the problems was that we couldn't identify any location for new schools. So I know I had identified at least 2 locations and had forwarded those to the current or the former CEC president. So I just wanted to know if there was any follow-up done in terms of evaluating those locations to see if they will be suitable for new schools.
Well, I can definitely make sure, if not before, well, I will do something before, but I can make sure that we have make sure the invitation went through. I know it did, to join the education committee meeting.
Also the school construction authority. So anyone here can recommend a site for a school. So we took over St. Anthony's, and we took over, oh, I forgot the other one. There's another, we took over 2, maybe 3 Catholic schools. So I agree with you, Anthony, in reference to that. But the school construction authority has to come out and look at it, make sure that it meets all the regulations, that it's ADA compliant, and that it has the space that it needs. It is a process for it, but they don't really know, better the district than they do. So if you can get an address and forward it to the CEC president or the superintendent, and they can come out and take a look at it. But if we don't point the way to those little spots that are, little niches in our community that we can use, they really won't know. They don't know the community like you know the community.
Exactly. Exactly. I know we're attending a groundbreaking next Tuesday, and it is, let me get the exact location to be sure. It is going to be PS 87X, and it's at 1935 busing. So that is one place that's up and coming. Inside the meeting is inside the schoolyard Tuesday at 3 o'clock for the groundbreaking.
But is that an extension to that school?
I'm not familiar with the school to know, unfortunately, Mr. James, you know, I was in the hospital for a while, and I've been out of the streets and out of, you know, walking around and seeing what's going on. So I have not heard exactly what they're adding.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, like,
He's got his hand up,
who's that?
Dr. Burke.
Dr. Burke. I was just gonna say, okay, go ahead, Dr. Burke.
So I'm finally getting some of these issues resolved. So so first of all, I know some of you, and I'll address this on Thursday. I need to owe an apology to, and again, I'll address it on Thursday. But when you think about what you're proposing, which again, personally, I don't have a problem with. One of the things that you stated was, of course, schools, right? So you stated that you're going to need more space. Bear in mind that there's a proposal that's on the table right now for this massive Wakefield Village development in which they want to develop over 5 towers of housing with the quote unquote what's the word I'm looking for, with the caveat that they may, and I repeat, may build a school. All right. But that's not their primary concern. Their primary concern is housing. So the only thing I'm going to suggest to this committee is that, again, and not that I am not personally against what you're saying, because I think that it is a novel idea, but you need to think about, you may have unscrupulous developers come in, just like the ones that, let me keep my mouth shut, but just like some of the other ones that are going to come in, and if you say now, oh, they're going to say, oh, well, we'll throw in the school if you let us have this development. So I need you to think critically and long term as well. So meaning that, yes, this may solve a short-term problem, as I said, which I agree with personally, not as chair of the board, but just, you know, Mike Burke personally. But think about the other things too, is I think you guys were alluding to, where is the space? Because you're going to need more space, right? Maybe this is something that can come up, you know, if you notice on the general board meeting, one of the things we're going to talk about is a community board 12 master plan, right? So in other words, whether I'm chair or someone else is chair, the bottom line is we need a master plan. And I think that what you're proposing needs to go into that discussion, into the master plan, the community board 12 master plan. So that's something that I'm going to present on Thursday as well. And that's all I have to say.
Well,
Something, Tolene?
Yes.
Yes, the letter of support is just for the reduction of class size. Like, we just talking out in a group as far as needing more space. It's not no letter going out about more space. The
Right.
letter is going out about,
It's about the
the
bill.
support.
Right.
The support for the lessening the class size. That's what it's about, Dr. Burke.
No, my brother, I mean, I hear you. And like I said, I saw your note that you sent. And as I said, I owe several people on here an apology. And as I said, I'll address it on Thursday. But I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is that I agree that the class sizes do need to be smaller. I look at when I taught at Lehman College, I had a dedicated group of students that it was just myself and them. And all of those students, I'm proud to say, either they've gotten married, some of them have into PhD programs, some of them are into MD programs, but a lot of them are extremely successful. And I think, and and that's due to the one-on-one work that we did, not only in the laboratory, but also in the classroom as well. So I'm not disputing what the intent of the letter is. All I'm saying is, let's not think linearly. So when we think about the letter and writing it, and let's suppose it's approved, right? So let's suppose that what we're proposing is approved. Then, of course, the issue is going to become, well, if we take so it's a class size, I think what you guys said is what, 35, something like that. So ideally, if it were up to me, it would be no more than 20 students in a class. And I think that's too much. That's just from my personal experience. But if you have from 15 to 20 students in a class, in essence, you're splitting the class in half, right? So unless you're extending the school day, where are you going to, that's all I'm saying, where are you going to house the students? Now, if we want to state something like this, then one of the things I might suggest is, you know, we reach out to the school construction authority if we want more schools in the community board. What I'm saying to you is that let's think about it in, you know, a multitude of fashions. Because as I said before, you know, and Anthony, I don't know if you were on that call or not, but there's a developer that wants to develop housing first, school second. You know what I mean? And so you give, because we're already talking about the overdevelopment of what we got, and you give people like that an opening. That's all I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying. Not that I'm not in agreement with what's being proposed.
I would like to add the following. I believe they're separate issues. The class size, I believe, was the first issue that came up. Someone put in more schools, but I see them as totally different issues. So I think we should deal with the class size, and then we deal with, you know, more schools. Maybe it's not more schools. Maybe the school they may be divided up into two. That is a separate argument from my perspective and needs this amount of thinking.
Again, Dr. Joseph, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not. What I'm saying is that, you know, you suggested it's a separate argument, which it is. My thing is that if it's approved, and as I said before, I am in support of what the committee is proposing, right? Is we write a letter of support saying that we reduce the class size, okay? What I'm saying is if it is approved, then, you know, let's not think short term, let's think long term. And I guess, and maybe that's how, you know, I think, but I think 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years down the line, not just the immediate. That's all I'm suggesting, is that let's move forward with this. Let's say, you know, I mean, because as I said before, I'm in agreement, but now let's think about, okay, so now where we want to house the kids. That's the only thing I'm saying to think about, not saying act upon.
No,
This
I'm
needs
with
to
you.
be in the thought process.
My concern, though, if you bring these two issues together, you wouldn't even get a lower class size. It probably end up being the same. And
So
that's
let me ask this question. So let me ask a broader question. So I think, you know, I'm in disagreement. I don't know if I would agree with that. How long the school day starts at what time? I mean, I don't teach in New York City public schools. So New York City public school day starts at what time?
It depends. There's many different times, Dr. Burke. It depends. It depends on elementary school. It depends on middle school. It depends on high schools. You have, you know, there's no specific amount of time.
Okay,
And you have
so I
staggered
come from the
entries as well.
generation where we started school at 7:45, right? So by 7:45, by 8 o'clock, 7:45 was homeroom. From 7:45 to 8 o'clock was homeroom, and then we started, you know, like I said, we started from 7:59, and our school day ended at 2:30, right? Unless of course you had detention, then of course you got out at 5 o'clock, right? So that was, you know, something else. My thing, the only thing I'm thinking about long term is that if we reduce the class size, where are we going to get the space? That's my question. The only thing I'm saying, I'm not saying include that in the letter. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is it's just something that we need to think about long term. That's the only thing that I'm saying. I'm not saying don't write the letter.
I understand.
All right. So
I
can I
understand.
say something?
Of
So
course
can
you
we?
can. I
Can
just need some clarity. That's all.
yeah, but can we get through this vote and
Of
then we
course.
have a discussion on the next conversation about just ideas about the school sizes, and we all can
Yes.
collaborate on that one.
Yes. Yes. Without question, my brother. Without
Okay.
question. I agree
Is
with
that
that.
good, Tolene?
That's
Tolene, is
perfect.
that good?
Yes, it is. Fallon, if you would, or if you care to, would you like to have anything to say about this? If you can. Fallon, are you there? Okay. All right, Egeria.
Okay, so let's just do this vote again to be clear, all right? So one, have a motion to propose that, that the board generates a letter in support of lowering the class size. Okay, that's number one. Okay, so let's get a motion from one of your committee members.
Make a motion.
Okay, let's second the motion from the committee members.
I second it.
Okay, now let's just take the vote like from all your committee members. Okay, so Tolene, I mean, I don't have my regular person here, but Tolene.
Aye.
Okay, Anthony.
Clear one thing up too, Madam First Vice. So the
Aye.
committee members are
Yeah.
Anthony Reed,
Yes.
that I'm seeing here,
Yes.
Dr. Robbins.
Yes.
I think I may have assigned Miss Moore. I don't, I got to go back and look at the notes, but I think that I did make that. She did ask and a while ago, and I may have been doing something, but I think that, and I forgot, there's a lot of things coming up, but I think that happens as well. And anybody else that you recognized earlier, I think. So just add Ms. Moore. I think I made that move a while back and forgot to tell Keller. So,
okay. All right then. Well, let me go through the ones that I'm clear about. I did Anthony already. Dina Robbins. Dr. Robbins, aye. Dr. Joseph.
Aye.
Okay. And Miss Shaniqua Moore.
Aye.
Okay. So all ayes have it. The ayes have it. So the letter for the community board to generate to go to the city council in regards of passing the smaller classroom size. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. And Tolene, just for you to know for the future, Shaniqua is on your committee.
Yes, she said that. She said that in the beginning,
Right. Okay.
and I believed her.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else that anybody else? Dr. Robbins is laughing. Anything else that you want to contribute to this meeting? Please know that we have a full board meeting on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Please come. Shaniqua, I will get with you to give you the link for the petition as well.
Okay, and I just put in a chat box there that I'm happy to help with strategic planning. That's one of my strong points.
Yes,
So
I saw
in regards to what Dr. Burke, the point he raised, which I thought was very genius, is having a concrete, long-term, robust plan that sort of maps out what it will look like. So we're asking for this, but what we want to see, particularly in our school district, in terms of identifying new spaces for to put those kids in, and the plan for teachers and all that other great stuff. So I'm happy to contribute that.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay. So, are you going to propose a motion to end the meeting, or is there anything else left?
Yes, that's what I was going to ask. Is there anything else left? If not, we can end our meeting. I would like to propose.
I'd just like to mention, if anybody can just possibly get some ideas as far as some spaces that they might be familiar with, that might be a good idea. I mean, I would drive around and take pictures so the committee can actually see the sites. For those that might want to go and visit the sites with me, I'm willing to go and check the sites out. If y'all get it to Tolene, I'll go and I'll take pictures of the sites so we can all have a view of some of the sites that people are just talking about that could be possibly some spaces that we can use.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't know what my little computer's doing over here. Okay, so Nigeria, I made the motion.
Okay, with that being said, you have a committee member needs to make the motion to close the meeting.
Before you close, there is a question in the chat. I don't know if it was a Jeff.
Excuse me, there's a question in the chat from Dr. Dina Robbins.
About vaccines for 5 to 12-year-olds.
Wait, let me. I don't know why I cannot get in the chat.
The question is, what about COVID vaccinations for all 5 to 12-year-olds?
Okay, as much the most, I mean, I've been like looking into it all day, and it ended at every school, but any school that called in was able to get a mobile unit to come to their school. And they are talking about trying to have it at every school, and that's where it was for me today, as far as all the information. But that's still in the works. Does that answer your question, Dr. Robbins?
Yes, it does. But I don't know, when you take a look at the paperwork that you have to sign before you take a COVID vaccination, they were saying that it's not really approved by the FDA. It's still sort of experimental. I'm concerned, about the long-term effects, and you sign a waiver, really.
For a 5 to 11-year-old?
Anybody, 0 to 100 and plus.
Yeah, well, they won't let me get vaccinated yet, so I haven't had the opportunity to.
I took my mom, and she's like 92, and she read the paperwork. I read it for her, considering, well, we're going to do this booster thing. Are they going to do this booster thing with these children? I would like for us to keep track of the effects of this vaccine on the children, if we can do it in some way. But really on all of us.
Exactly.
Because we don't know. It's experimental. They told you that from the beginning. I'm just saying.
All right.
Okay. I'm
All
good.
right, so
I took it.
Tony.
I'm still
For some
alive.
reason, I'm sorry. For some reason, I was trying to get my information into the chat box, but it's not going in. So I don't know if anybody, Ajiria or Pam, I see you working over there. Can put my information. Shaniqua, we exchange numbers. We have each other's number, correct? Yes. Okay. I need to give it to Fallon. Okay.
I'll
Go
tell
ahead.
you right now, just so you could make sure you have mine.
Go ahead. Was John, were you getting ready to say something?
No, I was just saying I took the vaccine and I'm still alive, so I'm doing all right. I was sick. I was sick like for like a day, and then my wife, she never missed a beat. So, and it's the second time. So I'm doing good.
I don't want to say anything about, women or how strong we are, or
I know
how awesome we are, or yeah. I'm not gonna say that.
All right, Tolene, is there anything else from anybody? Okay, so I don't want to have the last words,
We're supposed to have a little cold front, y'all. We're supposed to have a cold front, y'all. So
Yes.
it's supposed to be getting cold for these 2 days.
So
please check on some people that might be by themselves.
Right.
Some older people, or just check on people that you haven't heard from, because it's supposed to get real cold.
Yes.
And that's a good point, Anthony. Just check on the people anyway. You know, just check on them regularly. Just keep in mind, you know, that they are alone, you know, and even now with COVID, they're even more isolated. So it's important for you to check in on somebody, a neighbor, you know, just to say, hey, I'm just checking to see how you're doing. That's all.
Okay, my information, my contact information just went in the chat, I think. Do you all see it?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Fallon, you see it? Awesome.
Yes, I see it. Thank you.
Please, yes, please contact me.
Okay, so hopefully we'll see everybody at the general board meeting on Thursday.
Right.
And with that, I say, you know, good night.
Good night.
And be
Yes.
safe. Do be safe.
Everybody, I
Thank
want
you. Have a good
Be
night.
safe. Be
I have to
safe.
thank our first chair
Great meeting,
for,
Tolene. Great meeting.
thank you. Yeah, but it's because I had a fairy godmother.
Keep
Good
doing
night,
what you're doing,
everyone.
Shaniqua. I saw your website and it's fabulous. I just have to say, you
Thank
know, and I saw that you're celebrating and you're having the awards and all of that. I read through the whole thing, the whole website, from top to bottom. I did. It is fabulous and it's great to have you on this committee.
I'm
Yes.
happy to be here. I'm happy to serve. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Yes, thank you, thank you. I truly appreciate you.
All right,
Bye,
Tolene.
everyone. Have a safe
All
evening.
right, everybody be safe,
Be safe.
mask up.
All right. Good night.
Good
That's
night.
right. Mask up.
Nigeria, I can't tell you, thank you so much.
Okay, cool. Cool. I'm gonna end the recording.
Thank you.
All right. And I'll end the recording now.
Okay.